Bum, 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 bum. What's up, everybody? Hey guys, this is another video in our YouTube building series. And actually, this applies to all my videos. This video is going to be a little different. It's just off the cuff because I made an oopsie doopsie, and I made a pretty big-sized oopsie doopsie by a couple things. We're going to quickly go over it. This is about some of you guys who have messaged me privately about trying to follow this series and have run into JSON errors and have been kind of notifying me like, hey, I've been building it exactly the way you've been showing me, but I've been running into this JSON error over and over and over. And then I realized the oopsie, which is I didn't tell you that that will happen with Gutenberg. Yeah, that's a big oopsie. I just assumed because I'm using Themify. And in Themify, as you guys know, when you go to the front end and you edit a page, Themify has an automatic page builder that like drops out and lets you add shortcodes. And so you do not face the same issues you do when you edit with Gutenberg. They're edited differently. And I use Themify for pretty much everything. I don't really ever use the built-in WordPress editor anymore like I used to. But not everybody's going to have Themify. And so I started going back and looking at Gutenberg again. I realized, well, that's an oopsie because it glitches with Gutenberg. Well, there's a couple solutions I want to give you for how to build plugins, because technically in the plugins, let me just rewind for a second too. In shortcodes, they tell you not to use echoes in shortcodes. One of the major reasons for this is Gutenberg, it will break. But lots of plugins still do this. Tons of enterprise plugins and all kinds of stuff, because in the old WordPress, this wasn't really a huge deal. But let's just get over a few ways on how to fix that. So back in here, the one major way to fix it is in your installed plugins. You can get around this by adding, let's say add new. Just to go to add new, it'll be the first one right here, Classic Editor. This will solve this issue for you. If you install Classic Editor, this is how WordPress used to look before they added the Gutenberg thing. And I'm not a fan of Gutenberg, but that's, pretty much because I'm so used to the Classic Editor, and I've done all my life on it, and so it's really tough for me to get used to the Gutenberg thing. I don't really like it. But Classic Editor is what you do. You install a Classic Editor, and then when you go to your pages to add new pages, it looks like this. It doesn't look like Gutenberg anymore. It's this old school style WordPress editor. And this is how I like to do it. I do not like Gutenberg. But see, if you put the shortcode in here and you publish, they won't have any problems. My plugins, all the plugins you're building with me will work perfectly. So there's solution number one. Solution number two on how to do this, if you want to use Gutenberg and you're insisting on not using the Classic Editor, is was actually three solutions. The second one is we have to rebuild the plugin using returns, which is technically what you're supposed to do in modern day plugin building. But since I use Classic Editor, it wasn't really ever an issue for me. But if you're going to do it for enterprise, for the people who don't know how to use Classic Editor or how to do this other method, then you probably want to use returns. And I'll probably show that in a future video as well. But there's another method here, which is creating a page template. And this doesn't have to do to a plugin necessarily. This has to do with a theme or like in your site. WordPress's predefined page templates. And I'm just going to scroll us down to the part I want, which is right here. So if you're in Visual Studio Code and you just create a new file, don't do anything with it. And then save it as, and we're going to save it to the file that we are using. See, we're in WP content for our SEO local. Themes, Themify Ultra, and I'm going to save this in here as a PHP file, and I'm just going to call this like mypage.php. Okay, and right now it has nothing in it. Well, if we were to take this stuff here and open up the page, this is how you do it in WordPress. You create a new page template. Let's just call this YouTube videos page. Okay, then we could change all this package information to be with our theme and whatnot. And then the other thing is you kind of want to take the default page stuff from the theme you're working with. That way you know that it's going to lay out the same way. I'll show you what I mean. So in Themify, this is the stuff they have for their page. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy it right in here. So now we're doing what their page is doing. But we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to actually add this, which is do shortcode. This is something that can be done from PHP. And it doesn't use the built-in WordPress editor to save the shortcode to your output. And so let's take a scroll down to the bottom to where there's examples. And this is the one we're looking for right here in this top comment. Now you have to understand that when you echo a shortcode via do shortcode, it still has to have the square brackets or it won't work. And we would do something like this. Okay, and then in here, what would we place in here? Yeah, our shortcode, exactly. So that's what we do there. And I'm actually not going to echo a shortcode in here. I'm just going to do this so that I can go show you guys in the page editor what this looks like. So back in our WordPress, we're going to go to Add Pages. Now, if you haven't ever used, I'm sure you probably have used page templates before, but if you have not, they're located over here on the right under page attributes, right here under template. Looky what we have here. YouTube videos page. Now, as you know, that's what we put here. So when this page is using this template, it's going to build it exactly like it builds every other page in this template because we copied the information from the default page that was included, and then we can echo our shortcode. So we can get around the internal editor and we don't have to worry about that. So it's a little tricky though if you want to like place the videos above something on your page or below something on your page. You have to like put it before the content or after the content or before the sidebar. You kind of have to know how pages are laid out in WordPress. But this is another way to get around it if you're still using Gutenberg. You can echo do shortcode and it won't give you that issue. The reason why this happens is because when you save stuff with Gutenberg, for some reason, and there's an echo or output in the plugin in the shortcode, for some reason it just messes with the JSON in the page and it doesn't allow it to save properly, and it creates kind of like unreliable or unpredictability in the system and crashes it. So I just wanted to put this video out because I had some people ask me about this, and I actually had 2 different people tell me about this and say that they had a hard time following my series because of it. And obviously I don't want that. I want people to be able to follow it closely and then be able to do exactly what I'm doing. Otherwise, what's the point, right? If you guys can't follow me, then the videos are kind of useless, and it's basically just a guy talking into a camera about how he can do something that no one else can do. So, which sounds like really lame to me. So I hope this helped anybody that was having this JSON error, not with just this, and this doesn't just work for my plugins. If you have other plugins that are giving you this error, this would probably fix it too for those, these couple methods. Not the third method where you go into the person's plugin and edit everything for returns. We could do that on ours that we're building, and we really should be doing that, honestly. Like I said, in the future, I probably will in another course, like when I build my restaurant one that uses like text messaging and all that, we'll probably do it that way. But other than that, those are 2 methods. You can do a shortcode and make a new page template, or you can install the classic editor. Both ways should get around that issue. So, hey, if you guys like this video, subscribe, will you? And for anybody who is subscribed, I really do appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one where we get back to working on our YouTube series. That's what this one's going to be posted in. So where we get back to working on custom channel IDs and incorporating videos from multiple channels. So I look forward to seeing you guys there.